my name's Steven. Welcome to another episode of SRC Paradise. Today, I've got a little project. Also, guys, apologies if I sound a little bit weird on camera. My voice sounds a little bit weird. I got a cold, so it's kind of like a sinus thing going on. Don't worry, it's not YouTube. It's not your speakers. It's me. So with that said, let's jump into this project and get it going. I bought this paint here. It's just Rust-Oleum, Painter's Touch, 2x the Ultra Cover Paint and Primer combo, and Satin Seafoam Green. It's actually Satin Seaside. I love the stock BE6S body, but I wanted something new. So what I'm going to do, what my plan is to just repaint the body. And what we're going to do is take off the decals. I'm going to leave some decals on. Like the windshield and the the side windows and stuff. And I'll probably leave these on down here. Maybe the door handles. I'm not sure. And because this body, as you guys know, it's already pre-painted from the factory with decals applied. I'm going to paint it from the outside, which is it's going to be an experiment, because as soon as this thing really starts taking some abuse, I'm sure that paint's going to come off. But for those of you that have the BE6S, it does have these exterior plastic pieces that basically act as body armor. And so any of the tumbles or crashes that I've ever had with this vehicle have impacted the body on the protective armor. It's actually a really ingenious system. I love it. So we're gonna do this kind of as a test, and we're gonna see how the paint holds up. I don't have super high expectations, but I'm hoping to get a couple runs out of it, and in the future I'm gonna get a new body for this thing. Okay, guys. So here we are at my very messy workbench. It's amazing how quickly your workbench can get just filled up with clutter and tools and stuff. Here's the parts of the center diff, by the way, that I just got my new shims in. I don't have them out here on the table, but I've got two projects going on today. I'm going to rebuild that center diff, and then here's some of the other parts to it, little bevel gears and spider gears and stuff. So, and actually, I don't want to get my hands all greasy, but let me grab this. I'll show you. New pegboard, guys. I was super stoked. I have a place for my tools now. All right. So this is the little shim. Hopefully you guys can see that on camera. But this thing is so tiny. It's so thin. It's not like a normal shim or a spacer you can go get at Home Depot or something. Believe me, I tried. But this thing is super thin. I have no idea what the mill thickness is. I mean, it's thinner than Lexan, okay? Thinner than your Lexan body. It's thinner than that. So to give you some idea. Anyway, so that was the part that that was the whole part of the build that held me up for not a couple weeks, but for you guys it's going to seem like a couple weeks. But yeah, it took me a while to order it and then get it. Whoops. All right, enough about that. Let's move on. Okay, so here we are. Sorry guys, I got the sniffles. Here we are with the Team Redcat Racing BE6S, and I've already started taking off the bash guards. There were bash guards. There was a nose guard right here, right? That went on there like that. I love whoever thought of this, whoever invented these exterior bash guards. I just absolutely love it. I think it's genius. And they've really, without them, guys, this Lexan body, just as with any Lexan body, it would be completely chewed up. Other than that, though, if you look at the rest of the body, those are really the only contact points of the body. I mean, sure, it gets dirty and muddy and stuff, but it's not scraped up. So even though we're going to be painting the exterior with this
with this spray paint on the outside of the body like you're not supposed to, I think it's going to hold up fairly well. At least from scratches and, you know, exterior punishment. Now, if this thing flexes or whatever, then depending on how much flex it has or gets, then yeah, I think we are going to see some chipping of the paint. But guys, I don't care. I mean, it's like, you know, this is like $4. You know, I already have this. I'm doing this because I know I'm going to get another body. So this is just kind of a fun little experiment. All right, so what I did is I started taking off those protective bash guards right here. And as it's pretty self-explanatory, they're held on with these little Allen screws. I've just got my Allen screwdriver here. I believe they are metric, and you just undo them. Just unscrew them one at a time. I guess if I had a cordless drill or something, this would go a lot faster, but these come off pretty easily. Now, we got all the bash guards off of the body. See there? We're going to, I'm going to go ahead and wash this up, make it nice and clean, and I'm going to mask. This is going to be kind of a pain in the butt, but I want to leave the window decals on there. Because we're spray painting this thing from the exterior, I'm going to have to mask these off, right? And I may keep these side ones on there as well. So any decals I leave on here, I'm going to have to mask off. Okay guys, so I masked off the windows and the decals that I wanted to keep, and I just used blue painter's tape, 3M blue painter's tape. You can get that at Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's or something. Target probably even has it. But so I masked it off kind of best as I could. Now I've cleaned the body. I just sprayed it with some Windex and used a paper towel to clean it. Now that everything is masked off and taped up, I'm going to use some sandpaper I have. This is pretty lightweight. Let's see. I don't know. It's 336U 3M sandpaper. I don't know exactly what grit this is, but it's not very aggressive. I would guess that it's probably like a 400 grit. And all I'm trying to do here, guys, all I want to do, because we're going to spray paint the exterior of the body, is I'm just basically going to scuff it. So I don't want a super aggressive sandpaper that's really going to mar the body and leave a bunch of deep scratches. I'm just basically using this very lightweight sandpaper. Again, I think it's probably about a 400 grit. And then I'm just going to scuff the whole body. You can tell here I kind of started to. And what it's going to look like is it's going to kind of have a frosted look to it. The whole thing will look kind of dull. As opposed to here, I haven't touched it yet with the sandpaper. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And I'm going in like swirly circle motion. That way, it's okay to do some back and forth, but then I go over the back and forth strokes with a circle motion if I can. Because if you just go back and forth over and over, it's going to create essentially like micro grooves, right? And I don't want that to show up in the paint job. So by doing circles, hopefully it's going to minimize any kind of like marks that show up. And hopefully they won't, because this is a, it says it's 2-in-1 paint and primer. So we're going to put a couple coats on there, and hopefully we'll get a nice smooth finish. So this is all you do. This is all I'm going to do. And again, this is kind of an experiment. Now in these little areas, I got to go back and forth. There's just no way around it. But I got to get in that little, I want to get in that little crevice. Then we'll kind of go over it like that. Now I taped my decals ahead of time, guys, so I wouldn't, when I'm doing the sanding, I didn't want to ruin the decals. So that's why I went ahead and taped them ahead of time. I'm just going to have to be really careful to clean it again, so I don't have a bunch of like sandpaper dust on the tape, which could then possibly get on the body in the paint job. Alright, there, that's a little better. And I didn't get right in there, but that would take forever, so I'm not going to do it. Alright guys, there it is. It's nice and scuffed up. You can tell it kind of has that dull look all over it. I mean, there are a few little spots like in here that are still shiny, but again, this isn't going to be perfect. I just wanted to scuff the surface, so I'm going to get better paint adhesion with my satin seaside sort of turquoisey blue color. Alright. Okay guys, so I got this big empty box in my garage, and I'm just going to spray it in here. So, moment of truth, here we go. I'm just going to do my first coat. Actually, we'll start this side. Whoa. There's a lot of pressure in this can, like. That was a little heavy, guys. I didn't mean to get it so heavy right there, but we're gonna let that dry. Alright, so now we're just gonna let that dry for a little bit. We'll come back and hit it with a second coat in a few minutes. Hey guys, okay, so got a couple coats of paint on, now we're just going to let it dry. There we go. This is a coat 2. I'm just going to keep it out here in the sun and let it, kind of let the sun bake it dry. I did 2 coats, but they were pretty heavy. That first coat I put on here was heavier than I had wanted to put on. But, and then I put a second coat on that was also fairly thick. So I'm gonna let it dry a little bit. I think I will hit it with just one more coat. Here you can see. Alright guys, there she is. The finished product. We got the repaint of the Redcat BE6S. So, just to recap, I used the Rust-Oleum Seaside sort of turquoisey blue green paint color. I did 3 heavy coats. It is a satin finish, guys, so it's not super high gloss. It's almost kind of like, it does have a little shine, you can see it does have a little gloss, but it's almost like a velvety kind of finish, if that makes sense. I did mask off, remember we masked off the windows and the windshield. I also masked, as you saw earlier, I masked the lower decals and the front grille. I cut some of the original decals off right there. They had like turn signals or something. It was just gonna be too hard I didn't want to deal with having to mask all that intricate shape. It was like a couple of weird shapes I didn't want to have to deal with, so I just cut it. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm super happy with it. Let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down below. And if anyone's painted their body like this, definitely throw it in the chat. Here's just another angle, guys. There's the original factory BE6S tires. Just kind of do a little walk around here. I love it. I'm super pleased with the way it turned out. Hey guys, so hope you found this episode informative. I hope you like the results. I thought it turned out awesome, especially for a super cheap project.
This thing only cost $4 total. You know, the cost of the paint, I think it was like $4.02 for the can. And I had, what else? I had painter's tape, but I think masking tape would do. You could probably get that at, you know, at any store for like between $3 for masking tape, or if you get the painter's tape, it might be like $7. So you could do this whole project if you have, you know, assuming you have X-Acto knives or something, or utility knife. You could do this whole thing, I would guess, for probably $12 if you had to buy a knife. Maybe $15 if you get like a razor blade utility knife at Home Depot or something. I think they're pretty cheap. So, so for me personally, this was only $4 because I had all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you found it informative. Put your questions and comments down below, and give me a thumbs up if you like. And stick around. I've got a lot more videos planned. Cheers. Thanks for watching.